Hello. I'm just on a little bit early to make sure we've got sound and everything. We'll start properly in about 2 minutes, okay? And hello, Tony. Okay, I think I've got everything good. Just let me know if you can hear me, okay? Yes, clearly awesome. Hello, Alan. Hello, Tony. Hello, Kerry. You're from Canada. Be great, guys, if you're on here, just say hi and say what country you're in, because that would be. It's really interesting for me. I'm in New Zealand, of course, but I realize that people are in California. Hello, Sandy. Hello, Jen. Hope I said that right. Hello, UK Laura. California. Awesome. Oh, we're UN over here. Hello, Germany. Karina. Missouri. Awesome. I'll just point this at so you can see at the same time. I was hoping to take the computer outside to show you, but it's raining. Oh gosh, here they all come. Santa Claus! Hello, Santa! I'm looking forward to seeing you coming down the chimney on Christmas Eve. Iowa, Germany, awesome. Hello, Michigan, Patricia, Pennsylvania, Helen, Scandinavia, cool. Portugal. Oh, here they all come. Fantastic. Well, look, it's 9 o'clock. Hello, everybody. Look, it's great to see you all. Keep chatting. Keep saying where you're from. Of course, I will read as much as I'm able to, but I can't necessarily see all of them. I haven't planned a massive live stream. I just love touching base really quickly. I've only done one live stream before, and that's where I'd collated a bunch of questions beforehand. So for this one, I thought I'd just chat a little bit and show you how life is going here in New Zealand. Talk a little bit about the work I'm doing. Oh, Linda, thank you. Well, that's very, I wasn't expecting people to pay anything, but thank you. That's really lovely of you. Sicily, Florida, Kashmir, Washington, Tennessee. I'm South Africa. Hi, Sybil. I was born in South Africa. I was born in Cape Town. My mum is from Wellington in South Africa, and my dad is Zimbabwean. And we left South Africa when I was just 1.5 years old. So I don't really remember it that well. We came back a couple of times. So I did the equivalent of about a year's school in South Africa. But I grew up on a ship for 10 years, mainly going around South America, Caribbean, and Europe. My dad is a master mariner. And then we moved to New Zealand when I just turned 12. And oh, Patricia, you got a pen pal from New Zealand. Who knows? I might even know them. Very cool. So look, welcome everybody. Lovely to see people on here. According to this, I've got 53 people watching, which I find is amazing. You want to spend your time just listening to me spout off. If any of you have questions about any songs, about anything to do with the songwriting process, anything like that, feel free to ask them. If I don't see them, just ask them again and again and again, because I probably won't see it straight away. But I thought I'd tell you a little bit of how things are going here in New Zealand. You can see my window out there. If I tilt the screen, it goes all dark, but I'm really lucky. I live right on a lake, so that line there is water, and it's not my own house. I'm the principal of a very small school, and the school is about 100 meters up the road that way, and this is one of the school houses. And we're really lucky because while I work at the school, we get to live in this house, and we get this beautiful lake. So of course, when we had our first lockdown last year, this lounge was where it all began with the music, and we were so lucky to be here. I know lockdowns have been incredibly hard for many people, but for my husband and myself, and for our animals, we don't have children, it was quite a lovely experience. Of course, we were working remotely at the same time, but we had this lake here and we could walk, and you walk for 15 minutes and you're in a forest, and it was really awesome. So I do feel very, very lucky. But that's when the whole song thing started. Gosh, I'm seeing heaps of you. Balkans, more from South Africa, Arizona, Durbanville. Gosh, there's lots of people in South Africa. You might all be relatives of mine for all I know. I've got no idea. We've still got lots of family in South Africa. Australia. Oh, hello, Sweetie's Cat World. Sweetie's Cat World, check out her channel, because Sweetie the cat was one of our stars in the Bohemian Cat City. What are famous for? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. I don't consider myself famous. I just, yeah, I've managed to put a few songs on YouTube that people seem to like, which is really cool. Oh, Karina, you're expecting a lockdown as well. Whereabouts are you, Karina, in the world? And Spain, my one brother was born in Spain, in Santander, while we were with the ship. And my other brother was born in Barranquilla. And you're welcome, Sweetie's Cat Will. I hope lots of people check out your channel. My other brother was born in Barranquilla in Colombia. That's the joy of living on the sea. And Los Angeles, France. Awesome. Awesome. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about the current situation here in New Zealand. We've been quite lucky for a long time. Santander is beautiful. I've got no idea. I can't remember anything, but I'm glad it is. Venezuela, awesome, and Bavaria. So New Zealand managed to avoid COVID coming into our country on a massive scale for a long time, because we are, of course, an island nation and quite removed. Oh, thank you, Linda. And hello from Scotland as well. That's lovely. Yeah, so we are an isolated country, so of course we get to control our border a whole lot more easier than many people. And so we have had bouts of COVID in the country, but I know, looking at news media, that it's nothing like other parts of the world. My husband is Romanian, that's why my surname is Șerban, and I've worn this is called a ear. It's a traditional Romanian blouse. Anyone from Romania, salut. And I know that the situation in Romania is very, very different to how it is, of course, here. And I realize that some of you in your countries, the situation with COVID is really quite miserable, and I really do feel for you. Things are changing here, unfortunately, not for good. We got the Delta variant coming to Auckland, which is the largest city, and I used to live in Auckland a number of years ago. That came, and the country was locked down for a couple of weeks, and then Auckland stayed locked down. So where I am, I'm on the South Island, on the west coast of the South Island, in a very, very small, remote community. And we've been living pretty normally, except we've had to wear masks and had some distancing for a couple of months already. However, in Auckland, they've been for more than 3 months already quite a tight lockdown. That looks like it's about to open up. And so now the country is working towards 90% vaccination in all the different districts. And then we're moving to a traffic light system where life will continue, I guess, but with more restrictions for people who are unvaccinated. Helen, you saw the Romanian shirt. Yeah, I love this. I've only been to Romania once. It is an amazing place. And of course, now I've got family there through marriage. And yeah, the food is amazing. The people are amazing, more amazing than the food. But I love the shirts as well. So this is called an ear. We were very lucky living on an island, but unfortunately now Delta, I think, has its claws in. So what people are doing now is just really pushing for high vaccination. And then I think, like much of the world, it's pretty much going to run its course. So my day job, I'm the principal, like I said, of a small school, and we're navigating what type of trips do we do? Do we do camps? How do we keep our children safe? There was a mandate passed that you cannot work in a school with children or in healthcare unless you've had both vaccinations. And so that's created all sort of angst with people and things like that as well. So yeah, for those of you who are much, I guess, further ahead in the journey of a country dealing with COVID actually in the country, we're really on the beginning stages of that in New Zealand, and it's not fun. And one thing that's really, really brought me so much joy is, I started doing all these songs when we had our very first lockdown, and they just helped me keep my mind off work all the time in the weekends, because I do like to have a break from work, even though I love my job. But when I saw that they were helping other people find things to smile and laugh about as well during all this, I kept going. So at the moment, I've got just under 90 public videos. I've got a few that I've done that I've privatized. But so we're coming up to 100 videos one day, probably next year. I am continuing to go with this because it's lovely. I do realize a lot of you are new people who understand about this channel, and some of you are subscribers, and that's awesome. Because after I put out my Bohemian Cat City, I realized that a lot of people have had it promoted to them, so they now see it. So if you're one of these new people, because I considered that just a few weeks ago. Welcome. Love seeing you here as well. I don't just do animal songs. I have put forward a few animal songs. I do love animals. And I'm really annoyed because my cat is one of these animals who loves being loved, but very much on her own terms. And so she was on my lap just 5 minutes before I started the live stream, and I got a picture. I'll probably make that the video cover once it's finished. But she seldom sits on my lap. She's probably sat on my lap less than 10 times in her life. First cat I've ever had who's not a lap cat, so it takes a bit of getting used to for me. But I thought, oh, she could join the live stream. How cool. And her name is Macy. She wasn't in the Bohemian Cat City because all the photos from Cat City were from people like yourselves who sent in photos. But Macy, my cat, wasn't in that photo. But she then scuppered. She's a bit camera shy, so she disappeared. She is in two of my other cat songs. The You're in My Chair. She's the cat who is sitting on the keyboard looking at the camera grumpily saying, why are you trying to move off the keyboard? And in the one All I Need, so instead of all I need is the air that I breathe, talking about cats needing, she is the live paw action in that video. So if you want to see my cat Macy, she may not be coming today, which she hardly ever comes to me inside. She's probably sitting with my husband outside on the deck. He's just letting me do my thing while he sits outside and enjoys the rain. And she's probably sitting on him. He's her favorite. I do have my dog Luna sitting just on the opposite chair. I will see if I can bring her later, but I don't force my pets to do anything. So lovely to see all these comments again. Sorry if any of you have got questions, feel free to write them. It's very hard for me to read them while I'm talking. Thank you, Jenny. That's very nice. I have a nice voice. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, Menopause Rhapsody. I realize a lot of you came on board for Menopause Rhapsody as well. Keep tuned. I'm doing a bit of work outside of YouTube on the whole menopause thing as well. If you're interested in menopause, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea to talk or think about menopause. And if you go to my Facebook page, which is also Shirley Șerban, Serban is how you spell it. I just linked a couple of days ago. I was on a menopause podcast, and there I'm talking for almost an hour in 2 different bits, all about the song, all about Rhapsody. Okay, here's a question. Since you work in education, could I talk about how, in my experience, music contributes to the students' development? What would I say to countries which intend to erase music from schools? Is that happening in some countries? Music is, and I see your question afterwards, Todd, to describe my creative process. I'll answer that later. I actually think that's tragic if people are erasing music from schools. It has been proven that children who grow up bilingually, it sparks off other parts of their brains. And so if you grow up speaking more than one language from a child, you are shown through research to be better apt at picking up other educational things. You will be better at reading in your native language, and in the other language, you'll be more able to pick up maths concepts. All these other things, you'll be a quicker thinker, more critical thinking and things. I consider music to be another language. And I'm not talking about reading the notes, although that certainly is helpful. There's so much maths and music there as well. But music is a language of creativity and expression. And oh gosh, if there are, I've never heard of countries banning music from schools. Certainly I would not want a school to be doing only music all the time. But music is absolutely integral to what we do. Music is the soul language. You know, literature, the arts, music, dance, drama, I would say they're all equally important at expressing the human condition, the human spirit. If any of you are interested in learning more about creativity in education, I could speak about hours about creativity in education. It's something I'm very passionate about. But look up Sir Ken Robinson. He passed away, sadly, not that long ago. Actually, I think it was about March or April last year he passed away. He is my educational hero, Sir Ken Robinson. And he talks about how education these days, we are modeled on the industrial age in most schools around the world, I would say. And so if you think about it, when factories were started, people needed workers who could follow simple instructions, but then be compliant and do the job. And so unfortunately, a lot of what schools were started to be was to create people marginally educated enough to have basic literacy, basic numeracy, so that they could watch the machines and read the manuals and figure out how to do basic troubleshooting. But they didn't really want people to think too critically or to study anything that didn't have to do with this factory type of work, because then they'd get people who question and people who say, well, my conditions aren't so good and things like that. So when schools were made, it was children sitting at desks in rows, and it was learning the basics so that they could be yes ma'am, no ma'am people. Just think, why do we get children to stand and walk in line to places? You know, a lot of it is conformity. A lot of it is follow the leader, don't question it, and just go for it. As you might be able to tell, my school is not like that. We don't walk in lines, and I'm not the only one. So please don't think, oh, Shirley's doing this amazing, extravagant stuff. Education is changing in many countries, including New Zealand. And I would not be working in the education system happily if we were encouraged to keep with the conformity industrial age system. So in my mind, and in the mind of many educators around the world, music is as important as maths, because music is maths in many ways as well. If you look at harmonizing in thirds and things like that, you've got to understand maths. If you look at the clash of things and timing, so many different things in music you can link to maths. But then literature and communication, music is one of the main forms of communication. You think of a little baby when they're born, you know, what do they hear? They hear lullabies, and they hear voices that are lilting up and down. When you talk to your pets, when you talk to your children, hello, how are you? The voice goes up, and when you're angry, it's down. Is that not a form of basic music? So yeah, music is vital. Dance is vital. Drama is vital. The reason I don't have a dancing channel is because I can't dance to save myself. Music happens to be how I express myself. So yeah, sorry, I forget who asked that original question, but gosh, that breaks my heart if there are schools working to take music out of education, because to me, you're not going to have a well-rounded child or adult if music is not a part of them. I'm very lucky. The way I grew up was surrounded with music. I'm not from a musical family, but my parents were missionaries, and I grew up on a ship, and it was a missionary ship. And so there, of course, you imagine it's like being in a church, living with the people with the church as well. And so we had Sunday meetings and morning meetings and evening meetings and everything. I don't live in that kind of community anymore, but I was surrounded by music. And because I had that as a child, because I didn't have formal music training, I still can't read music, but you know, music was in my ears and in my mind and in my heart all the time. And I think that's made a huge difference and made me much more interested in other things as well, and in culture and arts and things like that. Oh, I'm sorry to read that, Lucia. Arts and creative subjects are becoming more and more scarce. They are not important. That is tragic. Talk to educators, because I'm sure they won't feel the same, but petition the people who make the decisions. Send them YouTube clips of Sir Ken Robinson and read his books. Even if you're not an educator, he doesn't speak in big words, and it's fascinating stuff, the things he talks about. So I did have another question just below that one that asked, what's my creative process? I'd like you to think that it's a very well considered one. It's not. I have music in my head all the time, and all the songs that end up on my channel are songs that are in my head, basically. I don't put out any songs that I don't know beforehand. I don't put out any songs that I don't like. So I seldom listen to the radio now, because I've got enough radio channels happening from songs that I love. And so usually what happens is I'll be humming a song away to myself, and suddenly, instead of singing the normal chorus, I will sing a made-up chorus. I love rhyme and playing with words. That's something I've always enjoyed doing. And so that's how the Menopause Rhapsody, those of you who know that one, that's how that started. I was humming away the normal Bohemian Rhapsody, and then when I got to the chorus, that part, instead of going, oh, mamma mia, I just went, oh, menopausa, menopausa. Just that word coming in then, I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. So let me make a song out of that. So usually the creative process, the start is me just playing with words in my mind. And that could be morning, noon, or night, as I'm working, as I'm washing dishes, as I'm cooking, whatever. I'll get the germ of an idea. I'll usually sit on that for a little while, and I'll think about it more. I'll think about the topic. With menopause, I started reading a lot about menopause, because I actually don't know that much about menopause. I wouldn't say I'm officially in perimenopause myself, although I might be, who knows. Listen to that podcast that I mentioned earlier if you are interested. But yeah, so then I'll do some research, and then I open up a document on my computer. I tend to wake up I tend to wake up quite early in the morning, and between 5 and 6 usually, and that's when my brain is ticking the most creatively. I do see the question from, oh, who was it? Artists that I like, Krisushi1. I'll answer that later. If I don't remember, remind me. Favorite artists that I've got. So yeah, I'll open up a Word document on my computer, and I'll type in any phrases that I think of, usually those original phrases. Then I will also say, as I do research, I'll put in anything that I think should be in that song. So some of my more funny songs that require less research, for example, let's say the Cat City, Bohemian Cat City one, same song. I didn't have to do any research for that because I have a cat, and I've had many cats in the past. At one time, I had 9 cats just because we couldn't find homes for cats that were born in my garden. So I do know a fair bit about cats. And I'll write down those ideas as well. And then over the space of days, I will start trying to work them. I will usually copy the original song and stick it on the left of my document. And then I will look at the rhyme structure. I try really hard to keep to the same rhyme structure, and then I'll work through that. So for some songs, they come straight away. Within half an hour, they're written. Other songs take days and days and days. So I guess my creative process is not an instant one. I give myself time, and I chew on things a lot. And certainly with the lyric and also with music, I do write original stuff as well, just I don't have it on this channel. If I go to sleep after having written something and I can wake up the next day, and if I look at it, I remember the tune, I remember the way that the words work, I think, okay, this is a keeper. If I don't remember it, it's an earworm for me. It probably won't be an easy to remember phrase or tune or things like that. Thank you for the comments. I'm continuing to read them. Join with a cup of tea. I should have boiled my cup of tea. This is still, it's 9 o'clock, 9:20 in the morning now. Normally I'm having a cup of tea now on the weekend, so I'm annoyed. I should ask my husband to go get me one. He's camera shy, so don't ask him to come on. There's no way you will see his hand maybe come through. He is in a couple of my videos. In my very early videos, I think it was my 3rd video I did was of Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You. Nothing compares to you. That one. And we were in lockdown at the time, and so I made that Nothing Compares to Having to Share with You, and he is the star of the show, but you only see him from the neck down because he values his privacy, which I respect. So I'm not going to talk much about my husband because he won't like it. He's also, he likes to claim to fame in my very first song, Do Re Mi, the COVID song. You know, a lot of people are talking about my currently quite well-known songs, so the 2 Rhapsody songs, Menopause Rhapsody, Bohemian Rhapsody. So Rhapsody's up to 5-point-something million views, and the Catsidy's now up to 4 million views. But my very first song, the Do Re Mi COVID one, is either 11 or 12 million views. So that one went nuts last year. He's in that one too, so his claim to fame is he was one of the laughing children in that song. He's like, oh, and I mixed him into that, so he's got a part in that too. And then I've got another song, My Favorite Things. If any of you are in lockdown now, listen to My Favorite Things, because he is the coughing at the end, the scariest of Captain Von Trapp coughing at the end. That's my dear husband. And he's in another one, Cutting My Hair. Cut my hair that way. The Backstreet Boys take off, and he does a beautiful sped up job of absolutely massacring my hair. Wasn't my dad a dancing Santa last year? Yes, he was. My dad used to work as Santa in one of the main malls in Auckland in New Zealand. However, my parents have just moved down to be closer to where we are. So they now live just a half an hour away from us, so he won't be doing that this year. And there was another question. Oh, who are my favorite artists, my favorite songs? Pretty much, if you look at the songs I've taken off, that's probably them. I love older music. Anything 60s, not so much 70s, some 70s. I love the 80s, and I love music that just makes you want to move and dance, and music that touches the soul. So probably my favorite song, long standing, it's not for depth, it's purely for the tune, is Toto's Africa. I love that song. I haven't yet done that one, but maybe one day. I don't think I could do it justice. I listen to a lot of what my husband calls sad stuff. I really love folk kind of music. There is a Canadian artist, for those in Canada, Lorena McKennett. I was introduced to her when I was at university, and I don't listen to her that often, but her style of music, she brings in different ethnic music instruments from around the world and weaves it together with very folky lyrics. I did study ethnomusicology as a side subject when I was at university. So Lorena McKennett, if you want to look up someone who's got beautiful music, I really love her stuff. But yeah, basically favorite artists, probably people that I've covered. Now I'm seeing that there were some questions there. Oh, my mum is adorable. I thought I might want to phone her and see if she could answer the video call to be on the live, but I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to use my mum either. And they're probably getting ready for church now as well, so that won't work. But yeah, I do love my mum, and she was absolutely game to be in that video that I did of her recently. So that was quite cute. She does know how to make a phone call. It was funny at the time that I did that video. I'd been phoning her, and my husband had been phoning her a number of times, and she just wasn't picking up. And you know, she does know how to answer the phone. Video call is another thing, as you could see, but she wasn't answering. So we went to visit and tried again. And it turns out she had her phone on silent for a couple of weeks. So there you go. But yeah, she didn't have to act in that video. It was very genuine. So yeah. So look, awesome comments. Keep them coming. I'm kind of, oh, Lorena's so magic. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, I love her music. So I won't take off any of her songs because she's not very well known. I have had a bunch of people make song requests. I just saw one up there. Oh, The Music Man. I've actually never heard of The Music Man, so I'd have to look it up. But I always feel kind of rude, and I don't want to come across as rude. When people suggest songs that I don't know, the likelihood is that I won't do them because, like I said, I do songs that I know really well and that I love as well. Yeah, Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. I know I don't love it. Sorry, Pink Floyd fans. Oh, here comes Luna. Let me just get her to say hi. Come here, Luna. So Luna's my dog. Someone asked, am I going to do any more dog songs soon? Very likely. Luna will probably end up in a bunch of my videos again because she likes to be the star of the show. So this is Miss Looney, and she turned 3 last month. And hello, Monkey. She's on heat at the moment. So I've heard that when dogs go on heat that they're a lot more clingy. She's super clingy anyway. So I'm getting extra lots of cuddles. Hey, Luna, you've got hearts and stuff. Thank you, Debbie. Yes, sorry, it's absolutely not personal. Do I have a theatre background? Not everyone can belt out memory like I can. Thank you. No, I don't. When I was in high school, I was involved in drama a little bit, but I was painfully shy in high school. I talk about this in the podcast interview that I mentioned before, which is linked to on my Facebook page. I actually wear a wig, and so this isn't real. And I haven't had my own good hair since I was about 8 years old. It's a medical condition I have. So when I was in high school, I still had some of my own hair, and I had to wear it tied back really creatively so that the bald patches wouldn't show. And so because of that, I kind of avoided the stage, as you can imagine. But then I got a wig, which was a hideous wig. But I indulged in my dramatic side a bit more then, but I was very, very self-conscious. So no, I haven't had musical training. I did singing class in high school just as a half an hour once a week thing in choirs. I was in a quartet that won a competition. That's my claim to music fame. But no, Luna is precious. She's a little monkey. She we visited a friend yesterday, and she toddled off into their garden and she rolled in the most repulsive something. We've got big birds that look like, those of you who've seen kiwis for New Zealand, we don't have kiwis running around. I've never seen a kiwi live in the wild, but we've got birds called wekas, which look like a slightly taller kiwi with a shorter beak, kind of like a wild chicken in a way. And a lot of people love them, but people who live around here, we don't like them at all. They get into my chicken's food, they poop everywhere. But this Luna rolled in, I think, what was some weka poop, and then of course she's on my lap again in the car home, and she hates getting baths and showers. To keep her calm, I take her in the shower with me. And it was so funny when we got home, she saw me starting the shower. She's such a shadow of mine that she'll follow me everywhere. And so I had the door open as I'm getting the shower ready. And then I got ready to go in the shower, and then I got her towel, and she suddenly knew. And so this was early evening, and she knew, and she ran to my husband, and he was sitting on the bed, and she jumped on the bed to hide by him. I was like, no, I'm not saving you from this one. So I grabbed her. So you're nice and clean now, aren't you, Luna? But she hates having showers. How about something from Greece? I have thought about that one. Very likely, I do love the Grease musical. Oklahoma and the Music Man, I don't know them. Oklahoma, I think I may have seen once, but I guess it's not been something that's been in my life, so I really don't know it. Sorry. Yes, to Oklahoma. I should listen to it, because I've had a lot of people ask me over the last year and a half that I've been doing this. Oh, you can't tell the original artist, which is you. Thank you. I think part of that, I do like imitating, but part of it also when you see the image of the original singer, or you've got the original music in your mind, I think our brains trick us sometimes as well, and they make us hear the original at the same time. So I try and mimic it as closely as possible, but yeah, my voice is definitely different from the originals. But I can put on like a British accent for Julie Andrews, so therefore I sound a bit like her. But the rest of them, I think, yeah, it's a bit of our brain trickery, which I take advantage of. Again, interested in musical theatre. Now, not really. My job is a very, very, very busy full-time job, so I wouldn't have time. And my memory is terrible. So, even when I'm singing, when I'm doing the filming for songs where it's me singing them and I'm on camera, usually you'll see me glance to the side every now and again because I don't remember any of the words myself. I have them on paper. I have got a song here that I'm going to sing you. There's the sneak preview. I will sing that for you in a wee while. And there's no way I'll remember it unless I look at the words. So musical theatre, I think I'd be a disaster because I'd love to sing and I love acting and all that, but there's no way I'd remember it. Luna's got this little wild. Your haircut's gone funky, Luna, and she doesn't mind one bit. Let me just see what's My Fair Lady. Yeah, I loved. For those who haven't seen, I do have a song from My Fair Lady there as well. Audrey Hepburn, of course. Audrey Hepburn didn't sing really. What's her name? Marcia. I can't even remember her name now. Another amazing singer sang in her place. For those of you who don't know New Zealand, how would I describe it in contrast with other countries I know? What would you like to know about that? The population, we're about 5 million. Those of you who know Singapore has a similar population to New Zealand, and I've been to Singapore many times. And we've got a lake in the North Island. If you Google on the side New Zealand, you'll see we've got the North Island, the South Island, and about here in the North Island, right in the center, is a lake, and that's the same size as Singapore. So if you imagine we have the same population as Singapore, roughly, yet their population, Marnie Nixon, thank you, Crystal, the population of New Zealand is the same as Singapore's, and in Singapore, they fit inside our lake. So if you imagine Singapore, lots of high-rise buildings, very tight-knit population, whereas New Zealand, we're very, very spread out. We do have cities. Auckland is our biggest city in the North Island, and that's over 1 million people. But it's very spread out geographically. It's about the size of Los Angeles. And so when I lived in Auckland, I was not in an apartment building or anything. The normal, it is changing, but the normal was houses with big gardens. So the house I had in Auckland was about 750 square meter garden. It's big. It's big. Now I live in the South Island, so see my wonderful crude map. So the South Island, the west coast is, of course, on the west. I think I'm doing that the right way. Yes, Lena, you want to join the map? And so there's a place called Greymouth. Christchurch is here. And there's a beautiful train line that is considered one of the 5 best in the world that goes across from Christchurch. It's called the Transalpine to Greymouth. And it goes over the mountains. Yes, Luna, sorry, I'm not cuddling you. And I'm a half an hour inland from Greymouth at a lake called Lake Brunner. And I'll just show you the camera light will change. But it is raining, otherwise I would have taken you on a little walk outside. And so that's called Lake Brunner. I'm in a little town called Moana. That's a mountain called Te Kinga. New Zealand gets lots of earthquakes. You may have heard about the earthquake in Christchurch, but just the other side of that mountain is the Alpine Fault. So Lena's just jumped off and she'll lick herself next to me. So yeah, we do have earthquakes. So when we build our houses, when I first came to New Zealand, because of course I'm an import, I said I came here when I was 12. When I first came, I was 11 because I was on the ship at that first stage. And I remember being blown away by all the wooden houses. All the houses are wood. Why? Because so many other countries, they're brick or plaster or things like that. The reason we've got wooden houses, of course, wood gives in the case of earthquakes. Auckland, the big city, is called the city of sails. A lot of people have boats. I'm a kayaker, so when I lived there, I would kayak a lot in the ocean and go to the outlying islands in Auckland. But one thing people don't know, Auckland's got many, many, many volcanoes. At the back of my mind, I think it's about 500, but I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But they're not active at the moment. Some are dormant, so they may pop up again. So where I am, it's known more for the West Coast is rain, although it doesn't rain every day, but beautiful nature, beautiful scenery. And so, you know, I think it's only just over 1 million people living in the whole South Island. So if you imagine there's 1 million in Auckland and 1 million across this whole island, we're quite spread out and sparse. So where I'm living now, I don't have immediate neighbours really for quite a bit. There are houses next to me, but they're actually holiday homes, which is great. So it just gets busy around Christmas time here. Right, where did my talent come from? Mum or dad? My mum can sing. She likes singing at her church and things like that. But if you missed earlier in this live chat, I was talking about how I grew up on a ship, and it was a Christian missionary community, and so because of that, there was so much singing all the time, and I think just being exposed to it all the time, that was part of it. I'll just look back. Wells Fargo Wagon from the Music Man. I really need to watch this Music Man, don't I? I'm seeing a lot of do a song about the Kia. I love the Kia. Actually, I'll bear with me. A friend of ours took a photo of a Kia. So those of you who don't know what a Kia is, I'll show you. This bird up in the picture here is a tui. Just looks like a blackbird, but they've got a white wattle, so they're called a preacher bird because of the white thing. Their song is amazing. But let me show you this photo of a Kia. Hang on a second. I'm coming back, I promise. Kias are, there we go. We don't want to put holes in the wall at the rental we're in, so that's a Kia. So it's New Zealand's alpine parrot, and they're absolutely stunning, beautiful birds. I've taken a few photos as well. I might stick one up on my Facebook page later so you can see. Let me come back. Hello, Luna. They're very cheeky birds. So I think it's the world's only alpine parrot. But they're very cheeky. If you drive into the mountains, so we get Kia actually on the hills behind us as well. But a Kia vehicle, no. But they like vehicles. They will land on your car and eat the rubber seal around your windscreen, and they'll eat the rubber on the windscreen wipers. And I used to have, a long time ago, I had a car with a sunroof, and we'd park and they just jumped on top and they're looking at you through the sunroof, and they've got a beautiful red belly. So in that picture, you would have seen that they're quite a muted olive green. But Elvis would be great. I'll remember. I do like Elvis stuff, but how am I going to do that? That could be a fun challenge for me. But yeah, Kia are amazingly cheeky birds. And in the mountains, you know, people stay to go hiking. We call it tramping. And there's often signs at places where a lot of non-New Zealanders go to warn them. They say, look, don't leave your shoes outside, because that's normally what we do. And so people, Kiwis as in the people, we know, bring your shoes inside, otherwise the Kias will gobble them up. However, a lot of tourists that I've come across in my time have not heeded the warning, and their shoes have been torn to ribbons, and they've had to walk the rest of the path in their day slippers or their hut slippers, which is really quite dangerous when you're in the mountains. Just like the bird in Nanny McPhee. It's just like that, in that sense. Oh, you were blessed to visit back in '97. We would love to have people back here in New Zealand. You know, tourism is a big industry for New Zealand. And of course, yeah, when the doors open, come. The country really could use people to come. And it is a beautiful place. It really is. I did a stint, so I'm in education now, but I take breaks every now and again. And I was a tour guide for a little while as well. So ask me, and I'll tell you all the good spots to go. Do we get snow on those mountains in winter? Yes, we do. And there is still, well, they're all covered by cloud now, but there is still some snow up there. We're in late spring right now and very much looking forward. What kind of ducks do we have? Ducks. We've got one called paradise duck, which is our native duck, one of our native ducks, I believe. I think just the same kind of ducks as everyone else. Yes, I hope the world opens up again as well. Please hit the like button. You're very kind, Sue3 Pets. Thank you. And for those of you who aren't subscribers, you know, I'm not in a desperate bid for subscribe, but I've had many people contact me who say, but I never realized you put out so many videos, and I try the average seems to be about one every 10 days. I can never guarantee it because it depends on my work schedule. But if you do like my stuff, thank you, firstly. But you can subscribe, and then there's a wee bell. And if you click on that, you're supposed to then get notification from YouTube for things like this. Can I do Are You Lonesome Tonight? We will see. We will see. Okay, look, I don't want to talk too much because I'm sure you guys have things to do as well. But keep any questions you have. Oh, there's a conversation that I don't know about that, sorry. But I do have a challenge for you. Christmas is coming. You will hopefully have seen I've put out one Christmas video already from Fairy Tale of New York. It's funny, that's a song that I've loved the tune, but possibly because I'm not a New Yorker or familiar with New York, the lyrics never really grabbed me because I just didn't get them. So I've still really appreciated them and loved the music, but I was very happy to do the words. Yes, do we get earthquakes? Yes, we do. There was a very big earthquake, well, series of earthquakes, but quite a devastating one in Christchurch 10 years ago. And I was in Christchurch during that quake, and it wasn't fun. How many? You're used to dealing with tornadoes, but earthquakes are a no. We had a tornado. We sometimes get tornadoes around the coast here. I've never seen one, but there was an amazing water spout just a few days ago, about an hour away from here, that people took photos of. And it was quite scary. How many, they don't come like clockwork. You get a period when there's heaps and heaps, and then it's quiet for a while, and then there's lots again, and then it's quiet for a while. So when the earthquakes were a lot in Christchurch, we were used to getting them daily, and a lot of them it would be nothing more than just a slight shake of the table like that, just a rattle, a little bit like sorry, I'm getting WhatsApp messages coming through, a little bit like a truck going past. And yeah, so I haven't felt an earthquake for a couple of months, and we haven't had anything big here for quite some time. Not saying that it won't happen. So we're working on building a house at the moment, my husband and I, and that's one of the things that is in the building code. Your house has to be able to rock and roll to be safe. So anyway, what I was saying, I've done one Christmas video already. I am planning more. If any of you feel like being creative, now you don't have to do this if you don't want to, of course, and there's no prize or anything like that. But for those of you who saw my previous live stream, I said that one thing I would love to do in future when I do live streams is try and help promote creativity, because I think that what I'm doing is not something unique that only I can do. I think that you might be really surprised at the levels of creativity you could come up with in things you haven't done before if you give it a try. And it's a little bit like learning an instrument. It takes practice. But I don't think that there is anyone in the world who is absolutely not creative. So a creative challenge for you. And if you do this, I would love if you would post your results in the comments, because I will put this video up on the channel after the live point. But if you manage to do this creative thing, feel free to post your results in the comments if you would like to. If you end up doing a YouTube video of it, cool. Just say that you've done a video and to look at your profile, but don't send the link, because you may imagine there's a lot of spam that comes through in comments from bots and things. And the way to stop that is we stop comments with links. And so if you send a link, your comment won't be seen. I won't even see it. It'll go straight to the spam folder. So if you do what I'm suggesting, don't put a link. Just say, hey, it's on my channel, have a look. But take any Christmas song you like and try rewording it to be about anything you like. Now, I've done one on pets. I did a couple of Christmas songs last year as well. The Carol of the Bells is one of my favorite Christmas songs. And so I changed that to be about COVID. Of course, COVID was very much the feature of most of my songs last year. You may have noticed I'm not doing so much about COVID now, only because I just want to think of some happier things. I'm tired of this jolly pandemic. I'm not ignoring it, but I'm realizing that we need to keep smiling. Sometimes it's nice to think about other things. Very glitchy. I'm sorry if your feed is glitchy, NR. I hope it's not glitchy for all of you. Where do I get the ideas from my music? Really from watching people. I'm a people watcher. And things that I struggle with. There's one, I cannot cook. That's one of the recent songs I've done. Oh, that's good to see, Sweetie's Cat World. Yeah, so I can cook now. I'm a pretty decent cook now. Unfortunately, both my husband and I are expanding because I can cook, but I never used to be able to cook well, so I was thinking back to that experience. There's a song I did, The House of the Rising Sun, about the housework is never done. That is 100% current experience. So a lot of the self-depreciating songs are about my own life. So I'm not one of these people who goes on YouTube to show you only the bright side. If you look at my worst songs, they're usually about me. Do I produce my videos myself? Yes, everything I do myself. So I know a lot of people on the Menopause Rhapsody initially said, "Oh, thank you to you and your band." I was like, "No, those 3 other ladies are me." And I just use my laptop. I like fiddling on the computer, so I've got a MacBook, and I play with that. But I'm quite happy to play on the computer, so I do it that way. Okay, so it sounds fun. I hope that's for the Christmas video. So again, here's your challenge. Should you choose to accept it, there's no grand prize or anything, but certainly I'll shout out if you do some. Choose any Christmas song. If you're not a Christmas person, I don't know, are there Hanukkah songs? I've got no idea, sorry, I'm not familiar with Hanukkah. But if you've got another tradition song instead of Christmas, feel free to do that too. And make the lyrics to anything you like. Okay, that's the challenge. And if you want to share the results with us, go for it. And you can do them in the comments of this video below. What software do I use to create everything? Better with Mac or PC. Personally, I like Mac. So I just use inbuilt software on the Mac. I do have 1 or 2 toys. After I did my first video, the Do Re Mi COVID song, I got a little bit of feedback that my S's were quite jarring on the ears. I'm not a sound producer. I don't know stuff like that at all. But one of the viewers, I wish I could remember their name, suggested I buy a microphone. So now I use this. So it's Rode or Rode, I don't know how you say it. And it's just a USB plug-in microphone. So this is the mic I use for all my work. And when I'm singing, if I'm doing harmonies or music, I'll have headphones plugged into this so I can hear it at the same time. And then I use GarageBand to record it on my MacBook. That's built-in software. And then to make the video, I use a combination of Keynote, which is like PowerPoint, which is where I can place everything. And I use a green screen. I've got an old $20 green screen, and also iMovie. So I don't use anything Flash. I wouldn't ask my mum to do that. If you've seen the last video, not everyone likes fiddling with technology. But the cool thing is that the biggest joy for me in doing all these songs in the creative process, making the video is what I do just to put it out there. But the fun part for me really is writing the lyrics. So even if you're not someone who sings yourself, and if you're like, "Oh, I'm not musical, I don't know how to do a video, I'll never be able to sing it," have a go at the lyrics anyway, because it is really, really rewarding and enjoyable to write the lyrics. There is a video I put out a number of months ago, and I think I've got it in my default description, which takes you in detail through my writing process, how I do the syllables, how I do all that stuff. But certainly a website that I use, because I'm not super clever and I can't do this all in my head. There's a website called rhymezone.com, and there you type in a word and it will tell you all the rhymes, all the near rhymes. So I'm not for every lyric am I coming up with this naturally. I'm certainly using websites and tools to help me. Okay, sorry if I've burst a bubble that you thought I was really clever. Now I'm like, oh no, I'm normal just like everyone else. Sorry. Thanks for the creative idea. Yeah, do it with your niece and nephews. Get children involved in this as well. We were talking earlier in the live stream. If you've just joined us later, you may want to watch the beginning again later. We were talking about music and its importance in education, because of course I'm from an education background. Do we have to perform them? No, just the lyrics is fine. Do as much or as little as you like. And you may not even want to do the whole song. You may just want to do a verse. Some ideas for songs: Jingle bells, jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. Kids do this all the time. We move things around. So I'm suggesting take a theme that's important to you and have a go. Have a go. You may want to even write something personal for your family, and you may not even want to share it. Just tell us about the process. Say, hey, look, I took Jingle Bells and I wrote it about my daughter who's about to get married. Wedding bells, grandpa yells, I don't know. But feel free, share the lyrics with us if you want to. Share the whole video with us if you want to. Again, don't put the link, just say, excuse me, say the video's on my channel, otherwise your comment gets hidden automatically. Or just say that you went through the process. But this is not a competition, this is a challenge for you. See if you might enjoy it. What made me decide to upload to YouTube in the first place? What were my expectations? I've talked about this a little bit in past interviews. I did a bunch of interviews with different media in the past. I didn't expect anything when I uploaded this to YouTube. I had a channel because I work in a school, and I had playlists for the kids in my class at the time to remember the videos that I wanted to show to them. And I've written many songs before. I've worked on the side as a freelance writer for companies for many years. I don't do that anymore because YouTube is now my creative outlet, because I really did it for a creative outlet. When I wrote my first song, it was during lockdown. I wrote it for my own sanity, nothing to do with YouTube or recognition or anything like that. I liked how it turned out, so I wanted to email it to a few friends and my family. It was too big to email. So I thought, I've got a YouTube channel. I'll stick it on that. And it shows how, do I have any tips to prevent constipation? I'll tell you about that in a second, okay? I don't have a personal story, but I'll tell you a joke about it. Remind me. But yes, so I stuck it on YouTube so that I could just send the link to my friends and family. And I didn't know about YouTube in public and unlisted and all that stuff. And so I didn't realize it was on public. I shared it to friends, and then I was a part of a principals group on Facebook, as well as a teachers group on Facebook. And I knew we were all in our very first days of lockdown. We were all going gaga. And so I just sent the link and said, hey, look, I just made this yesterday. This might cheer you up a bit. And then within 3 days, it got 3 million views. It just blew me away. And so I had no plans to do anything more. But then when I started getting responses from it, so many people were so grateful. And it absolutely warmed my heart. I loved the creative process. I loved doing it myself. And then I saw it made other people happy. Why wouldn't you continue? So yeah, like we're close to 90 songs later. And it's you guys who keep me going, really. This is not a huge money-making venture for me. It's not anything like that. I don't want to be famous, nothing like that. This is really because I love the creative process myself. When I'm creative, I am happy. When I'm not creative, I am probably not a fun person to be around. And when I see that it's helping other people, it just warms my heart, honestly. Helen Gren, what was your answer? Anyway, so yeah, Gregory Buttocks, I should have guessed from your name, Gregory. I'm going to have to watch you. Do I have any tips to prevent constipation? I'm not going to go too much down that road. But I remember a joke my father used to tell me when I was a child. Did you hear about the constipated mathematician? He worked it out with a pencil. So I'll just leave it at that. Sorry if that's a little bit crude for you guys. That's as far as I'm going to go. You guys are lovely with your comments. And no, I'm not a doctor. I'm nothing medical. We'll leave it at that. So yeah, there's the challenge. I think it's about time that we go on to a song. You know, I've done one live stream before, and I thought it would take, ouch, yes, it's a horrible joke. Why did I tell that joke on my live stream? I should edit that out. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, I'm meant to be a responsible person, sorry. Yeah, you caught me live, Andrew, well done. So in my last live stream, which was my first one, I thought it would just take 15, 20 minutes. I'd have nothing to say. And that ended up being an hour. And I'm looking at this, we've been going for 53 minutes. Shocking. So I do have a song. Some of you are probably sitting here listening to me waffle, just saying, get on with the song already. So I will do that. And it is a new version of an older song. A song, yes, please. Excellent. I'm not doing this with a backing track. I'm going to do this acoustically. And I hope you know the song. You may not recognize the verse, but you're probably going to enjoy. Well, I hope you're going to enjoy. You might not. You might think it's absolute rubbish. Hopefully you'll recognize the chorus, and then the verses will make sense. I had 100 just before, Debbie, but some of them were like, oh, she's talking about mathematicians and pencils. That's enough. I'm out of here. I don't blame them at all. Okay, so I will be keeping this video up. So if you do want to watch this later and fast forward all the nonsense, feel free. Thank you, Terry. That's lovely of you. And you know what I really love? So many of your names, you may not realize it, but I recognize your names. So, and I'm probably going to say them wrong. Jenny, Jen, Sweetie's Cat World, George's Gentry, Helen, Sweetie's Cat World, Dawn, Crystal, Terry, I see their comments all the time and I love it. Andrea, it's really, really lovely. Okay, I am going to move on to the acoustic, I promise you. And I will say something acoustic, and I'm terribly sorry for bringing that terrible, what's it called when something plummets? Yeah, so that was a plummet moment, my bad. Okay, like I said, I've got a terrible memory, so I don't memorize the words. Sorry if I don't gaze at the camera while I sing, but I have to read the words, which are here. Okay, here we go. And the thing with live, I'll show you the finger so that you can, yeah, I said your name perfectly. Excellent. The thing with live, it's different from pre-recorded. You don't see all the times I mess up for the videos that I put out, because very few of them are one-take wonders. So if I mess up, you're just going to have to deal with it. I'm sorry. Once again, as I said before, I'm a very normal person. And so if I mess up, my apologies, and I will just probably laugh and go, well, duh, of course I messed up, and continue. So sorry about that, possibly in advance. And no, I'm not going to whack you, Luna. Good, she's sitting right next to me, licking herself. Okay, here we go. Okay. You'll notice also when I play guitar, I never realized this until someone told me, I bite my bottom lip. So whenever there's not a musical, a singing bit, if I'm doing this, I don't have false teeth or anything, but it just seems to be what I do. And now I know about it, I'm really self-conscious about it. Here we go. Here we go. We have all had enough. You're sick of this, and so am I. Life pre-pandemic's what I'm dreaming of. No need to hold my breath when anyone passed by. I know this is messing with your feelings. I'm in this too, I understand. Never say you're giving up. Never let this drag you down. Never let all these lockdowns disconcert you. Never be ashamed to cry. We'll get through this, we'll survive. Never let the love of life desert you. This whole pandemic's gone too long. Never watch more TV in my life, let's face it. Not used to putting formal clothing on. Pajama yoga pants, yes, I've embraced it. Social distancing has got me reeling. And extroverts are going mad. Never say you're giving up. Never let this drag you down. Never let all these lockdowns disconcert you. Never be ashamed to cry. We'll get through this, we'll survive. Never let your love of life desert you. Never say you're giving up. Sing along. Never let this drag you down. Never let all these lockdowns disconcert you. Never be ashamed to cry. We'll get through this, we'll survive. Never let your love of life desert you. Hey, I did it without making a mistake. Yay. So for those who know the song, hopefully you get the internet meme in it as well. That's called Rick Rolling. So that's from a song Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, which was a very cheesy 80s song and a big popular thing a few years ago. People still do it, but not as much now, is they tell people, hey, listen to this, without any idea of what was coming, and then they rickroll them. So they give them the song unexpectedly. So I've yet to decide if I'm going to make that into a video song. You were Shirley, yeah, Shirley rolled you. So there you go. So there's the song. I might do it as a video, I might not. I've actually got a stripy top, and my husband's got a jacket that looked like his, so I might be, and he dances in a kind of weird way, so I'll have to learn his dance. Thank you all. So look, I'm happy to hang around a little bit more, but I don't want to just kind of sit here talking for the sake of talking. So if any of you else have questions or anything, I'm very happy. Otherwise, we will close the shop. Sorry for the Christmas market closures to Munich here. It's hard Christmas time when you're so used to ongoing traditions that you can't do anymore. It's really, really hard, isn't it? Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. But yeah, don't give up. Don't let this get you down. And if silly songs help, then yay, I'll keep making silly songs. And I do some serious stuff too. Maybe one day in the future I will put out some more of my original stuff, but really I know people aren't here to listen to my original stuff, and I'm okay with that. They're after seeing some favorite songs turned into something else. If any of you have suggestions for songs, absolutely let me know them. That's totally, oh, bloopers. Yeah, you know, I really should do a video of bloopers at some point, or put them at the end of my videos, because there's plenty. Most of my bloopers have to do with this dear girl here, and I won't go lower because she's looking at her backside, and my cat, and I see she didn't come back, sorry. Like I said before, she was here just 5 minutes before. How do I get the songs without artists singing? That's a good question. Some of them are available as just instrumental, and I just search for them. And some of them I create the track from scratch, or I find a MIDI. I very seldom use karaoke tracks because they've got permissions and things for that as well. But yeah, very often, and some of them I do a cappella. Just usually when I do it a cappella, which means just voice, it's because the track is too hard to do for me, or I can't find it. So yeah, I try wherever possible to use the original, but otherwise I create it. Oh, you'd like to hear original stuff? New to live chats, fun and informative. I'm glad, Darla. Look, I'm very new to live chats too. People had been asking for it, so I thought, well, I'll give it a go, try it out. So, and yeah, original stuff, I'll see if I'm brave enough. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of original for a while, but I do have, oh, has it one? I've got 2 original songs on the channel at the moment, but they're more to do with COVID funny stuff. So the one is called Moist Breath Zone, and that was one I did. Yellow Submarine, I will keep that in mind, Diane, it's a good idea. Feed the Birds, that could be fun as well. Look, I all the comments that I haven't read now, I promise I will go back and read them. So keep whacking through any suggestions. If I don't know it, I won't do it. And please don't send me your own lyrics, because the lyric writing is the most fun part for me. So I'd love to read your lyrics, but don't ask me to perform them, because I won't, because I perform my stuff because that's what I love. So yeah, sorry. And yeah, there are Trump songs. I don't talk too much about it now because I do realize some of you are, I'm not wanting to get political. I'm neither Democrat nor Republican and things, but I will be honest, I can't stand Donald Trump. And if you like him, that's absolutely up to you. Don't think that I'm not going to like you as a result. But yeah, I do have some songs about him. Don't let that put you off if you're a fan of his, but don't expect me to say anything nice about that man, sorry. So I can't even remember what I was talking about before. There you go. How about, this is a good place to stop so I don't waffle. Thank you all so much for joining me. That was fun for me, and I hope that was mildly amusing for you as well. I have done one of How to Solve a Problem Like Maria, but I didn't stick it on. And you know, Krisushi, I remember you telling me before that you loved George Michael, and I have not forgotten, and I actually have one in mind that you might see soon. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Keep posted. More songs are coming. I will tell Macy we missed her. I will absolutely give her a kiss, and have a great day to all of you. Have a good night to some of you. And if you want more chats, live chats, I'll do them every now and again. Sorry, I can't be like some YouTube channels. They release a song every or they release a video every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and they do a live every something like that. And I can't do that because my actual job is very demanding of my time. So I just do this when I can. So thank you. Oh, Marilyn, welcome. We're very happy to see you. It's going to go on YouTube after I finish the live, so you can listen through if you want to. And from this Western Auckland, Kapai. Okay, so listen, guys, have a great day. Remember the challenge. Feel free, re-lyric a Christmas song of your choice to be about anything. Oh, Richard, I'm sorry. To be about anything you like. Re-lyric it, and if you want to put the lyrics below, or if you want to just tell us about your process below, feel free. If you want to know more about the songwriting process, I think I'll have it as a default in the description, but I do have a video. It's about a half an hour, which takes you exactly through how I do the rhymes, how I do the syllables, and I actually write a song there on the spot so you can see the process that I go through. Cool, everyone. See you later. And if I don't talk to you before Christmas, there will be more Christmas songs coming out, whether to do with pets or not. But yeah, I don't only do pets, sorry. But I really hope you have a wonderful holiday season, whichever holidays that you celebrate. We do Christmas here. And take care of yourselves. This COVID is just it's an energy sapper. It's a mental energy sapper. And I realize that I've got it so easy compared to many of you. And I know some of you may have lost loved ones, and I don't want to make light of that at all in the songs or in talking. My heart really does go out to you if you're affected by this. And take care of yourselves, be with the ones you love, do whatever you need to keep sane. For me, keeping sane is doing these songs, and it makes me very happy that people like yourselves are enjoying them as well. And so if you don't have something that's keeping you distracted and sane and happy at this time, try writing songs. You may be surprised. You don't have to sing them, but try writing them. It is such a heart warmer for me, and you may enjoy it too. I'm really, really, really sorry, Michelle. Really sorry. Yeah, love to you. It's hard. Okay, people. See you later. Have a good day. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves, as we say in New Zealand, ka kite anō. See you later. Bye. And end.